Hey folks, my name is Emily and welcome to 108 Stitches. This is a mostly knitting video podcast with a little bit of baseball at times, some other crafting, and I also talk about my life here in Seattle. It's a very windy day in Seattle today. It is February 21st, Sunday, just kind of afternoon. We're actually getting a little bit more sun than we often do, or than we have been. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm really excited to talk to you all. I don't have a ton of knitting projects to go through today, but I do feel like in the last week I've done quite a bit of work. It's just been pretty focused on one or two projects, so I'm excited to share that with you all. Let's see, yeah, I live in Seattle with my husband Nacht and our pup Norm, who is walking around here somewhere. He was just nearby and then he got up to drink some water, so we'll see if he comes and makes an appearance today. Yeah, and I think that's, I always forget the things I'm supposed to say here at the beginning, but before we jump into the stuff I've been knitting on, just a reminder where you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as @Meeker. And also another reminder, as always, all the things that I talk about, the information will be below in the description box. Norm, do you want to come say hi? Come here. No, he's not interested in saying hi right now. We'll see what he gets up to. But yeah, so I guess let's go ahead and hop into the knitting. So first things first, I have a finished object. And here it is. So I think the first time I talked about this sweater was on last week's podcast. So I'm done with it. So this is the Vega jacket. It is a sweater by, gosh, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, Kajsa Vuorela. I will link to it down below because I probably butchered that, but yes, so I actually finished this sweater. So today is Sunday. I finished it last Monday, so just like a day or two after I podcasted last. I just was cruising on it. I feel like I don't know, I was almost done with the body, and then I just did the sleeves basically like one per day, so it just took me like 2 days to finish. These like button bands really quick. I say that I'm finished. Nacht, my husband, would probably say that I'm not finished because I still have to weave in the ends, and then I also still need to put buttons on it. Oh gosh, I'm so annoyed with myself. I went to a craft store this week because I needed to pick up just some like cotton yarn and needles for a couple friends of mine. I'm going to be teaching them how to knit, so I was just going to get them some just like basic cotton yarn so that we can make dishcloths. So I ran to the craft store to pick that up, and I was going to get buttons for this sweater when I was there. I just completely forgot. I just didn't. And so now I'm gonna either like go back to the craft store, but there's not a craft store super close to me. I actually went like kind of far away to go to a craft store. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'll probably just like order some online, or I don't know. I don't know when I will get around to that. I'm very annoyed with myself. But other than the buttons and blocking and weaving things in, so I'm done with the knitting of this sweater, I will say. I'm done with the knitting. And yeah, the button band is like kind of curling in, so I feel like you're not getting a great picture of it right now. I will show it again next week, maybe once it's blocked and has buttons and everything on it. But yeah, here it is. The most gorgeous part of this pattern, again, is just the the shoulder intarsia color work. Wow, y'all. It's just so pretty. I love it. And yeah, it fits cute too. Here, let me put it on. I knit the second size, and this is knit out of Alafosslopi, which is an Icelandic wool. I may have knit the sleeves a tad long, but I actually had to, so, well, I don't know if this is a paid pattern, so I don't know how much I should talk about it, but I had to kind of modify the way I did the sleeve decreases, otherwise I wasn't going to get through all the decreases by the time I got to the end of the sleeves, so I modified that a little bit, and otherwise I think I just did it to pattern, but here it is. I love this collar. This is very cute, and so it's like a tiny bit cropped. You can see it like lands right kind of at my hip, like right where my belt is, you can see, and yeah, I think it's really cute, and it's super warm because this is just like really nice woolly wool, thick. This is the fastest I've ever knit a sweater. I knit this in, I think, 9 or 10 days. I don't know, that may not be fast to some people, but that feels really fast to me. I think before then the fastest I'd ever knit a sweater was like 3-ish weeks, 2.5, 3 weeks. So I don't know, 10 days feels pretty fast. It's heavy yarn and it's cropped and stuff. So, but I think also especially like when I was in the color work portion, I was knitting on it all the time because I wanted to see the color work finish. Like I wanted to see it all because of how pretty it is. And then, yeah, I just wanted to have it, which is funny now because I finished it on Monday and I haven't like done the finishing that I need to actually wear it. So, but now putting it on right now, I'm feeling very, like I want to wear it. I'm feeling very motivated to get it done. So yeah, that is my that's my only finished object for this week. That again is the Vega jacket, and highly recommend. I love it. I can't wait to have it all completed, just ready to wear. So yeah, you can see all my ends here, but yes, that is my finished object. And then I have 2 works in progress that I worked on this week. I think they're both new to you all. I had like a pair of socks that I was working on that didn't, I mean, I may have put like a row or 2 on them, but didn't get a ton of work. And then the other active, I say active, I haven't worked on this in weeks, but the only other project I have that is on needles is the poet shawl. And that one also did not get any work this week. So the 2 projects that I worked on after Monday. First, I talked about this one a little bit last week, so I had knit a swatch for it. But I started a Stripey Tank, and I wore this shirt on purpose, actually. This was the shirt that kind of inspired this tank. But so I talked last week about this idea I had in my head based on this shirt, and just like a style of tank that I really like is the kind of like high turtle, like almost mock neck type tanks that are like a little bit cropped, not super cropped, still like around, I would say like around belly button length. So it's going to end like right before the edge of your pants, but like around where high-waisted pants lay is kind of what I'm imagining. So yeah, I had these colors in mind. I was looking through some leftover yarn that I had in my stash, and I had these colors in mind because of this t-shirt. So I can, I guess, do like a little bit of a close-up. You guys can see the stripes in this t-shirt. It's navy every other stripe, but then it also has like red, orange, yellow, and then 2 colors of blue. So I had these yarn leftovers in my stash that I thought would come together to make a similar kind of like stripey tank. So the base color is actually leftover yarn from my plover cardigan. that I showed as a finished object last week's podcast. But it's just like this gorgeous, like really dark teal color. So not quite navy, not the same as this shirt, but still like a really dark blue base. And then here, okay, these are all attached. So this may be a little bit hard, but so this is, okay, yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot to say. This is Grenouille 85, their 8515 sock base in the Nacht Musik colorway. 85% merino, 15% nylon. Then, oh my goodness, I should have looked this up. This, I don't remember. I might have this in my notebook somewhere. This was leftovers from my baseball socks. If you all remember, okay, I have it written here. This is Knitted Wit in the Oregon Sky colorway. And I don't know the fiber content. I think it's just like a sock base, some merino, some nylon. And this really pretty blue. So this is leftover from my baseball socks. I have this, which I also don't remember. I got it. It's a yarn that is local to a yarn store in Issaquah, Washington. And the colorway name has something to do with Beyonce. But I don't remember it. But I'll try to link it below. But yeah, so this is like a really gorgeous, this one's 100% merino. And it feels softer than the others. It's like a 2-ply 100% merino. So there's that. And then I have, this is leftover from my, hopefully you guys wanted me to go through all these colors. Maybe this is annoying. But this is leftover from my Vertices Unite. This is Lichen and Lace in their sock base, which is a merino nylon, and I don't remember the color of this either. I should have, clearly I was not prepared to go through all of these one by one. I don't remember the color of this one. I will link it below. And then this is leftover from my Poet socks. This is Woolberry Fiber Company. This one actually I think is a BFL nylon, and it's in the colorway Pink Canyon, which was from their Desert collection. And then this last one is Lichen and Lace, also leftover from my Vertices Unite, and this is their sock base, and this is the Beach Glass colorway, which I actually have more of, and we'll talk about a little bit in a second as well. But yeah, so these are the colors. Let me try to hold these all up together so that you can get an idea what this will look like. I don't know how this will go. We'll see. Okay, can you see them all kind of? Here they are, all of them together. I really like the colors together, and I think it matches like the feel of this shirt as well. It's like, I don't know, it feels kind of retro-y. But anyway, so I decided to cast on this tank, and I'm not basing this off of a pattern. This is just my own brain, which maybe explains why it looks like a tangled mess right now, because this may be indicative of my brain. But anyway, I'm starting it from the bottom, and I just did some twisted rib on the bottom, and then I started striping the colors. And I think it looks really nice, y'all. I love these colors together. If it would focus, you could see. Yeah, there we go. I really am liking it. I think it looks pretty good. So yeah, I started it, and then so I'm doing this on a US size 3 needle. Hello. Yeah, I'm doing this on a US size 3 needle, and all my interchangeable sets only go down to a 4. So I have 2 sets of interchangeable needles. I have a Addy set, and then I also have a small circumference Chowgu set. Anyway, those only go down to a 4, so the only US 3 needle that I had was a 40-inch cable. So I'm doing this with this like weird like partial magic loop, because I want this to be like pretty tight, so 40 inches is too big for like my body circumference. The stitches are just like there are too few stitches for a 40-inch cable. So I'm just doing this weird like magic loop thing. I should just get a new needle because I think that would make me happier. And maybe that's why I worked on this a ton at the beginning of the week and then I stopped. I think partially because the yarn is a nightmare and is annoying me, but also just like the magic loop and everything. So anyway, I'm hoping to get back to this. I'm carrying the colors like up the inside rather than cutting them and like weaving in two ends every stripe. Or I guess it would be, yeah, if I carried the main color, it would just be two ends every stripe. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna carry it up the inside, and then I may go through at the end and like kind of tack it down to make sure that it doesn't get caught, because I will be carrying it up quite a bit. But anyway, so that means that I have 6 balls of yarn attached to this right now, which is kind of a lot and kind of annoying, but I just kind of want to push through because I'm really excited about this project. I think it'll be really nice. And yeah, so I'm just making this up. I've been trying to kind of write down what I'm doing just in case I decide like I want to put it together so that other people can knit it if they wanted to. So like let me know if I'm sure I'm making it sound really compelling when I'm talking about all of the yarn being a disaster and doing it on this like 40-inch cable or whatever. But if you would be interested in something like this as like a pattern, let me know. It's just going to be like a stripey tank with a mock neck at the top, but let me know. Yes, so that is that. And then my other work in progress, so I was working on that, and then I kind of got annoyed with the yarn, and I wanted something just like a little bit simpler to work on while I had like knit night and while like Novice was reading to me and stuff. So I cast on the vertical striped sweater by Petite Knit. And I think I talked about this before. I had swatched for it. But here it is so far. This is a bottom-up sweater. And so this is what I've done so far. Norman, what are you doing? Okay, buddy. Yeah, so this is a bottom-up sweater, vertical striped sweater. It's basically just all I've done so far is like a little bit of a 1x1 rib cuff and then 4x4 all the way around. I'm knitting the second size, and this is using like a finger. Are you eating leaves? I know. Hi, do you want to come visit? Come here. Okay. I'm knitting the second size for the vertical striped sweater. I was kind of between sizes, and I decided to size up because I wanted to have tons of positive ease. Like, I want this sweater to be really, really oversized. I mean, not like, I just want it to be cozy. Sorry, I smacked you, didn't I? Anyway, so this sweater is knit using a fingering weight yarn and a lace weight yarn held together. So your classic, like, fingering plus mohair, fingering plus suri. And it is my first time. Oh, I'm losing stitches. All right, I'm going to put this down, and I will pick those stitches up later because I pulled stitches off. But, yeah, so, well, I'll just be very careful with it. Anyway, I am using suri for the first time. So I am using Lichen and Lace in their sock base in the beach glass colorway. It looks slightly different from the one that I showed you before, and my leftovers. This one is like, this batch that I got is a little bit bluer. I don't know if you can see that. And then I'm holding it together with Drops, what is it? Drops Brushed Alpaca Silk. This is color 14, which I think is like called grayish, no one wants to sniff it, grayish green blue or something like that. And yeah, this is like an alpaca silk blend. It's the first time I've ever used suri, and I've enjoyed it so far. It's really nice. I think, like, I've used mohair before. If you're familiar, it's pretty similar. It's like one of those fuzzy lace weight yarns, and I think mohair gives you more of like a halo. I think suri is, it feels just as soft, but it's like, I think it's going to shed less it just seems like it stays closer to the sweater, whereas mohair is more like fuzzy. Maybe, I don't know if you can see, but it's like fuzzy, but it's not, there's not like a crazy halo above it. There's a little bit, but it's not as much as mohair, if that makes sense. So anyway, I haven't done this in, I cast this on Wednesday, I think. So it's just been 4 or 5 days. So I feel like I'm making pretty good progress. Yeah, I'm gonna put this down because I pulled stitches off. Oh man, sleepy boy here. And yeah, I think I said this already, I'm knitting the second size. And that's it. That's all I have for knitting stuff. Those are the only things I've been working on this week. I don't have any acquisitions, and yeah, I think that's all for knitting content. I do have a couple of things I wanted to chat about in the life and baseball kind of categories. So for those who are interested in both our Sunday breakfasts and also my sourdough baking journey, I did another combo this week. So last week I made sourdough, well, it seems like every weekend I'm just making a ton of sourdough things. But last weekend I did sourdough English muffins, and we made eggs Benedict from scratch, and those were so yummy. I think I recorded last Saturday, so I hadn't yet had them. But the English muffins, I made a mistake in the way that I like proofed them. It wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad mistake. It was just like I didn't cover them in plastic when I put them in the fridge, and so they had kind of like a, not rubbery, but just kind of like a layer on them. But they still turned out really good. They tasted very good. And our eggs Benedict were delicious. My husband, Nofis, made like poached eggs for us, and we had bacon and avocado, and he also made homemade hollandaise sauce. So that was so good with the sourdough English muffins. Very tasty. But this weekend, so this morning, I made, I actually got up at like 6 a.m. to do which is very early for me. Maybe not for some of you, but it was very early. I actually got up to do this. Anyway, I made sourdough cinnamon rolls, and I made the dough last night, but I had to get up and I had to form the cinnamon rolls and put them for their second rise at like 6 a.m. And then I went and got back in bed for like a couple hours, and then I came back out and baked them. And I think they turned out good. They weren't as like, you know, incredible mouth-watering as I was hoping, as I was expecting, I guess. But they were pretty good, the cinnamon rolls. And then I also made sourdough banana bread this weekend, and that was very tasty as well. That one didn't, I mean, the sourdough was like the rising agent, but it didn't taste sour. Like, it didn't taste like sourdough, that sourdough flavor. I think there was just enough other stuff in it that it just tasted like banana bread. It tasted like brown sugar and bananas. So, but that was still very tasty. And then I'm planning to attempt another sourdough loaf this week as well. So we'll see. That'll be my third loaf. I have made tons of stuff with sourdough, but I haven't made a ton of sourdough loaves, which I feel like a lot of people who make sourdough just like do the bread. And I've done that a little bit, but I've done a lot of extras, non-bread. And I've really been enjoying it. So that's been really fun. So we'll see how my next sourdough loaf attempt goes. The other couple things I was going to talk about. One is games that Nofis and I have been playing. So I think I talked before about when we played Overcooked, which is a co-op video game. We just started yesterday playing a co-op video game by the same maker called Moving Out. It's very fun. It is it's a game where like you and your partner are trying to move furniture. So you like go to someone's house and you have to lift furniture and like put it in your truck. And it's very funny. Like, you know, you can like pick up items and like throw them, and there's some items you have to pick up together, like the couch you have to pick up together, and it's kind of a fight, like who's gonna go through the door. Like, I don't know. It's fun. We've really enjoyed it. And then the game we were playing before that, we were playing Luigi's Mansion, which we call Luigi, because there's like a goo version of Luigi in the game, which is very funny. I'm always Luigi when we play, and Nofis is Luigi. But, and we had been playing quite a bit of that, but I was ready for something a little bit different, so we decided to switch over and play some Moving Out instead. But that has been fun. We've been enjoying that. We've also been doing some puzzling as well over the last couple days. And I think I mentioned this last week, but I had purchased like this activity for Nofis and I to do over Valentine's Day. I got us a couple of, it was like a candle making kit kind of from Siblings Candle Company. Basically they send you like the wick and they send you wax. That's this company, it's already been scented. And then you melt the wax and you pick like a container, you put the wick in it and you pour the melted wax in and then it hardens and you have a candle. And so we did that last night and it turned out pretty good actually. I didn't stick my wick down properly at first. It was kind of like moving around there, so I had to like very carefully position it to make sure that that the wick would be in the center of the candle. But I was able to do that and it hardened properly and everything. So yeah, I think today we're gonna try lighting our candles and see how they go. I guess I could show them to you if you're interested. Okay, yeah, here are our candles. So we just used mason jars that we had and they came with the wax and we melted them and it came with the wicks. So we need to trim our wicks and then we can try melting them. But the 2 scents we got were Nofis. I got him, he really likes lemon. So I got him, this is scent number 7, I think. And it is lemon, grapefruit, and orange. It smells really good. And I got myself the winter scent, which is clementine, cinnamon, and clove. It smells like winter. I would definitely say clove is the overwhelming smell here, but it smells very good. So yeah, we did that, and I think that's it. Still, we've been reading a ton as well. And like I mentioned last week, we're in like a book club with my family. I'm also in like a sci-fi fantasy book club. We just started a new book for that. So that's been fun. And yeah, I think that's really it life-wise. Norm is being a cutie. Baseball-wise, I don't have a ton to talk about, but I did want to say that this is kind of baseball, kind of life, kind of plants related, but I actually went to the stadium for the first time in almost a year a couple days ago. I had like a meeting there that I had to go to the stadium for, and so I hadn't been to my desk, like my cubicle, and I had never gone to like pick up my things since I'd been working from home, because I had already put together a lot of my stuff, and I was actually in Arizona traveling for work when things kind of got shut down. So I already had all the things I needed to work. So I didn't need to go to my office to pick anything up. But I did have a couple plants in my office. I had a aloe plant. I had a snake plant, if you're familiar with that. And then I also had a pothos, which is just like a, I don't know how to describe it. It's just like a, what you would expect for a house plant. It feels like the quintessential house plant. It just like has leaves. It's kind of like a vining plant as well, or like a trailing plant. And the pothos was super dead because these plants have gotten very, presumably like no light or water in the last year. So I expected them all to be dead. But weirdly, the snake plant like was totally fine. I swear this plant could survive anything. I think there had been someone going into the office and like a little bit and maybe had been watering them occasionally. But they hadn't been getting a ton of light. So, I don't know, but the aloe also was in bad shape, but not dead. So the snake plant was fine, and the pothos was like super dead, completely brown, dead. But I was very surprised to see that. Yeah, so anyway, was back at the stadium, and that was really nice. just to like see the field and see my office and stuff. I'm not sure yet when we'll be back more regularly. Yeah, I'm not quite sure when we will be back in the office more regularly. Hi. But things are kind of picking up work-wise, even remotely during spring training time. So pitchers and catchers reported last week to their spring training facilities. So the Mariners, they have their spring training in Peoria, Arizona. And normally I would be, oh, okay, yes, look out the window. Normally I would be going there for at least a few weeks of spring training, but I will not be going this year. But we still have a ton of work to do to get ready for the season, to make sure that our players are ready and coaches are ready and everything. So my work has been like picking up a little bit because of that, and that's really exciting. A couple of my friends, my coworkers, are at the complex in Arizona and have sent me some pictures of the sun and of like baseball things happening, and so that's exciting. And I do think like everyone is doing their best to stay safe as we wait for more widely available vaccines, and so that's really good to see as well. So yeah, still not a ton of baseball content today, but hopefully we're getting closer and there will be some more fun content upcoming. Spring training games start, I think, next week. So yeah, I will be watching some spring training games, any that are televised, just because I'm missing it and I'm excited to be watching baseball again. Hopefully in person sometime this year if it is safe to do so. So anyway, I think that is all I have. Really appreciate you listening in today, and feel free to find me and follow me and reach out via Instagram or Ravelry or anywhere else. And you can find my information down below. I am at Meeker pretty much everywhere. Yeah, and I think that's all. So from myself and Snuggly Norm here, I hope you do lots of knitting and watch lots of baseball, and have a great week. Bye.